Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's installment of the Bama Factor with Alex Taylor. I'm your host, as always, Alex Taylor, and man, we have a lot to dive into in this week's episode. First and foremost, wow, is all I can say. Alabama, Georgia, game of the year, lived up to the hype. Again, I was there. I've been a part of a lot of loud crowds in Tuscaloosa. 2011 game of the century between Alabama and LSU, uh, 2013 Alabama LSU, 2015 Alabama LSU, 2019 Alabama LSU. Um, just been a part of a lot of really loud environments there. Mississippi State 2014, Auburn 2014, um, Tennessee 2015, Tennessee 2021, Tennessee 2020. I'm sorry, 2019 when they unveiled the LED lights. I've been a part of a lot of loud crowds, but none compared to what was in the stadium Saturday night. The energy inside the stadium was insane. It's the loudest I've ever heard it. The enthusiasm was so, it was elevated. It was on another level. And just, shout out to our student section, shout out to the entire fan base, and still kind of recovering in the voice from last Saturday. But, what a game it was. And, we're going to dive right into that. So, obviously, peaked at 14 million viewers, averaged 12 and a half, the most watched game for a while. And I just think that's absolutely amazing when you look at the just the overall success of each of these programs over the last, really 10 years. But then you really start to dive into who they are as programs, and you look at why the energy was so high in that stadium. And as a fan and as an enjoyer of college football, that is what college football is all about. A lot of epic moments in this game, a lot of crazy sequences as well. Obviously, Alabama jumps out to a 28-0 lead, and obviously, as a fan sitting in the stands, thinking, first and foremost, I'm like, okay, wow, this is a fantastic start. We go up 7-0, get a stop, we go up 14-0. Then we pick off a pass in their territory. I'm like, man, you can't get any better than this right now. Then we go up 21-0, then 28-0. I'm like, there is no way they're staying on the field with us tonight. Second half was a little bit of a different story, and I have a little bit of a different opinion than everybody else. I'll give props to Georgia for making adjustments. I don't necessarily feel like Georgia could have done that the whole game, and they said, oh, if Georgia would have had that together, they would absolutely slaughter y'all. No, we stopped being aggressive. We took our foot off the gas. And I think that just proves in games later in the season, we have to keep our foot on the gas when we have people down. But the fact that we let them come back and we still won the ball game, a lot can be said on that. But talking about just some couple key contributors as well, Jalen Milroe, flawless in my opinion. One interception, so obviously wasn't flawless, but fantastic all night long. 27 of 33, 374 yards, 2 touchdowns, 16 carries, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's had at least 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns in every game this season. Heisman frontrunner now. Early in the season, still got a long way to go. But Jalen Milroe, 4 was on a different level Saturday night. And to witness that, I witnessed Bryce Young. I witnessed Tua. I witnessed Mac. I witnessed Jalen Hurts. What Jalen Milroe did Saturday night was nothing short of incredible. Absolutely incredible. Xavier Brown, the hero, into the game. Kind of got picked on all night. Struggled at times. Carson Beck was really going after him, especially in the second half. 6 tackles, 5 solo, but went back to the well one too many times. And Xavier Brown grew up right before our eyes. And can we just give a prop to the coaching staff? You put that amount of trust in an 18-year-old who had been struggling the previous few drives, had given up some long passes, not got his head around, and then you play a soft cushion, 10-yard cushion, jam him, you're able to get your head around, locate the ball, and make a miraculous interception. I mean, it was a back shoulder throw from Carson to where Colby Young was going to go up and get it. And Zabian just comes up and takes it out of the air. So I think just Zabian's maturity in that game and the fact that the coaches kept their confidence in him was absolutely incredible. And, of course, the man of the hour, right over here, Ryan Williams. Again, guys, he's 17. We've said this over and over again. Ryan Williams is not human. And what he did Saturday night, I still can't get over. I'm still not over it. I have watched that play over and over and over again. More than I've watched 2nd and 26, more than I've watched 4th and 31. I can't stop watching it. 6 catches, 177 yards, and a touchdown. The touchdown proving to be the game-winning touchdown. What this kid does on a weekly basis now is so impressive. The kid is 17. The kid is supposed to be in high school. The kid is supposed to be enjoying his senior year and terrorizing high school defensive backs. Instead, he's cooking Malachi Starks. He's cooking KJ Bolden. He's cooking Dalen Everett. This guy is so special. And Bama fans, we better enjoy him for 3 years because that's all we got him for. That's all we have this kid for. This kid is insane. What he can do with the football, what he does in space, route running, after the catch, it's insane. Ryan Williams has a better career start in his first 4 games than all of the rideouts, which was Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle, did in 2018. Combined. That's how special this kid is. This kid was insane. He's becoming a legend at Alabama. The key for him is staying humble, which I think he will, staying healthy, which we hope he does. But this kid is special. And this kid is going to, I believe, win a Heisman before he leaves Alabama. If not, a Biletnikoff at least. He's winning some type of hardware before he leaves Alabama. Ryan Williams, absolutely insane. A couple other people as well. CJ Dupree having a very good night as well. Just what a very good contributing night from him. 4 catches for 38 yards. Jeremy Bernard getting involved as well. Kendrick Law only with 1 catch, but did get injured. He's listed as questionable for this Saturday. Justice Haynes getting some good carries. Jam Miller in the passing game, the wheel route, one of the prettiest throws I've seen. And what a play call. Absolutely incredible. And then just a couple total stats. Georgia came into the game with the only, currently being the only FBS team to not allow a touchdown all season. That changed Saturday night. Alabama, 547 total yards, 374 through the air, 173 on the ground. Held Georgia to 80 yards on the ground. Forced 4 turnovers. Absolutely incredible. Held them to 3 of 15 on third down. The defense was on something else. And yeah, in the second half, they gave up a little bit. They started playing a little conservative. Georgia, in my opinion, was strictly desperation plays. You had to be at that point with what the score was. But the aggressiveness of the defense, the aggressive play calling from Kane Womack, I liked what I saw. We just have to finish games, and that's the key here. And I think we will. I think going forward, this is a really good measuring stick for us. But obviously, happy to get the win. Silenced a lot of haters for Jalen Milroe. Silenced a lot of Georgia fans who were trash talking all the weeks, and now they continue to make excuses. But it's all right. The defense created pressure. That was one of the keys that I said. And I said this game had to be one in the trenches, and it was. Offensive line, shout out to the offensive line. Caden Proctor, Tyler Booker, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, and Elijah Pritchett. You guys absolutely stepped up. You guys played together as a unit. No sacks, barely any hurries, not even so much as some pressure. Just tremendous blocking all night long. I think we have our offensive line, and Coach Cap he is owed a lot of credit for that offensive line as well, for coaching them, getting them in the right spots, teaching them on communication, and obviously the players on execution. So hats off to the offensive line. Absolutely. So now we're going to hop into our preview of Alabama's second SEC game of the season as they go on the road to Nashville, Tennessee to take on the Commodores of Vanderbilt University. But this Vanderbilt team is a little bit different this year. And it's weird that I'm saying that. They're 2-2. But this is a very different Vanderbilt team. You're talking about a team that upset Virginia Tech to start the season. You're talking about a Vanderbilt team that took Missouri to overtime and lost on a field goal. You're talking about a quarterback that is Johnny Manziel-like with his running ability and can really move the ball down the field. And earlier this week, Kalen DeBoer and the staff placed out these little mouse traps all over the football facility, symbolizing a trap game, because this is a trap game. You play a high-quality opponent in Georgia. You have a slugfest in the game of the year. You're coming off an emotional high. Then you're going on the road to a lesser team. It's easy to have a letdown game. Vanderbilt's had a week off. They've had 2 weeks to prepare. We clearly know the talent is in favor of Alabama. We know that every position's in favor of Alabama. The coaching's in favor of Alabama. It's not a hostile environment in Vanderbilt. All the more reason it's a trap game. On paper, you should blow this team out. You still have to produce on the field. Alabama, the last time they went to Vanderbilt, 2017, 59-0 victors at that point. This time, a little bit different of a Vanderbilt team. Clark Lee, I think, has them going in the right direction. And they're going to give Alabama everything they have this Saturday. You can really bet on it. And if you look at Vanderbilt, they upset Virginia Tech. They took Missouri to overtime. If you look at what they did, they are a improved football team. So Alabama has got to avoid the trap game mantra. They've got to avoid starting slow, letting up. This is a game where you can go out and prove after an emotional win like you just had. You can go out and prove that you can still take care of business against these lesser teams. You got to start fast. You got to finish strong. That's the key in this game. We don't need to get anybody hurt. I don't think we need to do anything too cute in this game. We don't need trick plays. We don't need to unveil a lot of our playbook either. Something else I want to see in this game that I really just haven't seen yet a lot of. I feel like in the second half this past Saturday night, we should have leaned a little bit more on Justice Haynes and Jalen Miller in the backfield running the ball. I felt like, we had the lead. We could have just played, keep away and just ground and pound all night and probably scored, at that point, probably scored about 2 or 3 more touchdowns. But, instead, we still tried to air it out a little bit. But, and obviously it ended up paying off, but we need to rely more on those guys too because, we have an offensive line who can block. We have 2 capable, very good tailbacks. And I want to see these guys be involved in this. And I feel like this staff is going to involve them. Maybe they're just holding these guys back currently. And you've got Jalen who can run the ball. You have Richard Young who's back. You have a lot of options at that. But I want to see Jam and Justice really start to get these 16 and 17 carries a game. Give them 18, 19, 20. Get them up there in the 40 carry range combined. Because I think, nobody's going to stop that at all. Both of them have breakaway speed. Both of them have that ability to get to the second level. Both of them have the ability to make people miss and to run people over. Both of them have some really shifty playmaking ability. Use these guys. On offense, we got to continue to be consistent. First half, man, we look like world beaters in the first half. Georgia kind of figured us out in the second half. You put 2 spies on Jalen. You kind of play a deep zone. You kind of take away anything deep, and Jalen didn't really have anything to do. We adjusted to it, and we got past it, but we've got to find more consistency. Hence why I just said let's lean a little more on the running game when we get that. Because if they're dropping those, then, they're dropping so many guys in the coverage where there's nobody through the middle. Make the defense make a choice of who they're going to cover. The defense has got to get out, and this is a weird statement. You often heard the defense has got to get off the field on 3rd down. 3rd down, we were fine. The defense has got to get off the field on 4th down. Georgia was 5 of 5 in that game. I know some penalties extended some drives. Some were very questionable. But the other ones, we just couldn't get off the field on 4th down. And that puts them having a long situation in 3rd down and us letting them get almost the needed yardage for that, making 4th down a very manageable 4th down. We got to get off the field on those. We got to put them in a punting situation, an obvious punting situation. But as far as Vanderbilt goes, as far as this weekend goes, keys to the game is avoid the trap game mantra. Avoid slow starts. Attack and be consistent. Consistency is key this week. Staying healthy is key this week. This is that game that, you don't want to get anybody major hurt. You don't want to have a struggle game here. You want to go in and you want to take care of business and you want to get back home. Because, you got South Carolina the following week. You have Tennessee the week after that. You have Missouri right after that. Then you have a week off. Then you have LSU. So the meat of your schedule is coming up after this. Good win to start the SEC portion of your schedule. You don't have another non-conference opponent until November. You have Oklahoma away in November, who is coming off a pretty gutsy win at Auburn. Have a really dynamic true freshman quarterback. At that point, we'll have all their receivers. Then you still got to play Auburn in the Iron Bowl, no matter what their record is. But other key this week on the defense is, just keep playing aggressive, keep forcing turnovers. Diego Pavla is a very good quarterback. He's very capable. But I think the defense can force him into some turnovers. We got to play well on our feet. We've got to keep him contained. He can run. He is a very good runner. If you look at what he did to Auburn last year at New Mexico State, you look at what he did to Missouri this year, you better believe that we've been zoned in the entire week, and I believe that we have. So going into this game, I'm going to give my prediction officially. I'm going 47-10 in favor of the Tide. I still think we continue our streak of 40 points. I think we continue to have that consistency on offense and the success that we've been having so far. But we've got to come out and play. We can't come out flat. We got to come out and we got to be the aggressors, and we got to stay that way. That is the key here, and I'm excited about it. Feels like it's been forever since we played, and it's only been 6 days. But like I said, still not over the win. And as one of my favorite memes is, the Alabama Georgia game was absolute cinema, and it was. I was very thankful to be there. Stayed to the end. And I do want to give a shout out to the Georgia fans that I sat with. Extremely kind and cordial the entire game. We were just complimenting each other's teams the whole game, just talking ball. They were cheering for their team. Of course, they were barking and everything, just like I was cheering for my team. But, at the end of the game, I shook about 4 or 5 of their hands. We each said, great game. I told them we're probably going to see each other again, potentially 2 more times this year. But, it's 2 heavyweights going at it, and I said it was going to be a 15-round fight, and they were going to take punches from us. We were going to take punches from them, and it was all about who landed the last punch, who made the last mistake. Georgia made the last mistake. 2 of them. You let Ryan Williams beat you down the sideline, and then you throw an interception to another true freshman. Unfortunately, it just happened to be on their side. Fortunately for us. But overall, what a game. Really kind of sets the tone for our season. I hope it does. And we got to build off the momentum from this game. There's still a lot to improve on, offense and defensive side of the ball. But overall, we're undefeated. We're sitting at the number 1 spot right now. And, we got a lot of recruits looking at us. So that's always good. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this college football weekend as well. Next weekend is going to be really good with Oregon, Ohio State. The following weekend is going to be insane. Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas. A lot of quality and good football. And starting today, actually tonight, Thursday, when I'm recording this, there's 55 straight days of football. So that is something that's absolutely just fantastic. And I cannot wait for that. But overall, guys, what a game this past weekend. Ryan Williams, I can't explain. Jalen Milroe, I hope he continues to have this type of success. I want to see him win the Heisman. And the defense just keep improving. Offensive line, shout out to them for what they did. But overall, everybody have a good college football Saturday. Again, stay safe. If you're traveling, to all the Tide fans, stay safe out there. Safe travels to all of y'all. Let's go take care of business on the road. Let's come back with a win. Let's start getting prepared for South Carolina. But everybody else, enjoy their college football Saturday, your NFL Sunday. And as always, good night, God bless, and roll Tide.